Mom's special smells are here and she's eaten 4 bags of Cheetos. Hello, my little gossip fiends, and welcome back to Normal Gossip, the show where we bring you an anonymous morsel of gossip from the real world. Or, in this week's episode, 5 anonymous morsels of gossip from the real world. Welcome to the first of 2 Season 1 bonus episodes. Today is the family drama episode. We asked you to call, to voice memo, to email, to carrier pigeon in your family gossip, and you absolutely delivered. We got calls about secret siblings, about family reunions, about your parents, your grandparents, your second cousin's sister's wife, and we are going to get into it. But first, I need to introduce you to my co-gossiper this week. Everyone, say hello to Alex Sujan Laughlin. Alex, say hello.
Hello.
Our editor, Justin Ellis, is here too, but he's not on audio. He might jump in, I guess, if the gossip gets good enough, but we'll see. Anyway, if you follow us on any of our social medias, you already know Alex because she is often posting like super fun behind the scenes videos. Alex is the producer of the show. She is a genius. She is my friend. I am happy she is here.
I'm embarrassed.
Why are you embarrassed? Those are all facts.
This is very nice things all of a sudden.
Yeah,
okay.
You're doing. There's more nice things. Buckle up. In the next bonus episode after this one, where we answer some frequently asked questions and do a little more gossiping, we'll talk about how integral Alex is to this operation. But I just want to highlight up top here that we are a really small team. Like, the company that funds this podcast is a small subscriber-based cooperative called Defector Media. The show does not have a whole like production group with half a dozen writers and producers and a ton of financial backing. It's just me and Alex and our editor, Justin Ellis, and some friends at Defector Media who pitch in when we need an extra hand. So the fact that I sound good and that this podcast is fun to listen to is all Alex is doing. Alex is the one who brought you the dreaded Colton sound, the chirping crickets on the camping trip, the girls singing karaoke in the season finale, and every other joyful sound that makes this show fun. And today, she is here to join us as we go through 5 of the best family gossip stories y'all sent in.
I have to say, this is actually not my first appearance on Normal Gossip because I was, in fact, one of the drunken singing girls.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
And I just
it's good to fess
that.
up to that.
Yeah, so you have actually heard my voice before.
Yeah, just singing.
Yeah.
I did 1 thimble of wine.
I was actually drunk and recorded that. So you all have been sending in so many gossip stories about your families, and truly there were too many for us to play all of them. So we picked our 5 favorites, and we're just going to go through and play them, and Kelsey and I will react to them as we go. Kelsey, please feel free to pause if you need to react.
Okay. I'll feel
yell.
free. Just going to scream.
Yeah. So this first story comes from Poppy. And it's about her uncle.
So my uncle married a woman who is my age, and I found out through social media that he had a baby, was married to this woman, and that also my friends from high school knew this woman because she went to elementary school with them.
Okay, pause. Okay, so a woman her age had a baby with her uncle, and all her friends from elementary school know this woman?
I just don't understand, how does she not know? I mean, I guess maybe she's not close to her uncle, but it seems
maybe she went to a different high school.
It seems as if they're in a small community if her uncle is with somebody she went to elementary school with.
Okay, keep going.
It is a long, convoluted story, but essentially my uncle lived in a part of Texas,
of course,
and did not keep in contact with my family. Over winter break for 1 year, I found out that my uncle had a secret Facebook. Going to his Facebook, I was able to locate a picture of his now wife.
Okay, nice.
I went to her Facebook and found out that we had mutual friends with someone who was my best friend when I was in high school.
Okay.
So I went to go talk to my best friend in high school, saying, "Hey, do you know this girl named Kristen?" And she said, what? Why are you asking me that? And I said, oh, because I see her connected with my uncle's Facebook. And she says, oh my God, is your uncle the old man?
No!
Pause.
Oh, he's the old man.
Okay. So this does answer some questions, right?
Mm-hmm.
In that, like, her best friend when she was in high school knows this girl from elementary school, right? So she must have gone to one elementary school and then not gone to the high school.
Sure.
The old man is just incredible.
Is your uncle the old man? Like
Classic
that is
question.
clearly like it's like a nickname that like the friend group has adopted to refer to this guy.
Right. It's like when you don't want to learn your friend's boyfriend's name, so you call him like Skater Mike or something. It's like, but in this group, they're just only calling him the old man, which is, they can't be saying that to her face, right?
I mean, they probably did not think that this would last, but they were wrong. Clearly.
Okay. All right. I'm ready for more. Inject it into my veins.
So it turns out that they had this like really secret love affair. They'd had a child and gotten married, and my half of the family didn't know about it. And now they have 2 kids and they're still married.
Hey, Mom and Dad, how did you meet?
The thing that is incredible to me about this is imagining what the family group chat must have been like after she found this secret Facebook page.
Oh my God. The secret Facebook
right? Because
page.
like did whoever her like parent is, whose sibling the uncle is, must not have known, right?
Presumably. I don't know.
So then you have to like call your dad and be like, Dad, what's up?
Your brother's secret
your
married.
dumb brother secret married some girl that's my age and has 2 kids.
Jesus.
Nightmare.
The thing that's like, I just, it feels very chef's kiss is that like this man cared enough to keep the secret, to get secret married and have a secret family and all that. But he also cared enough to have a Facebook presence to start a secret Facebook. Like, who wants to be on Facebook that badly?
Like, yes, you're right. Because what's super weird about this is like, you wanted to keep it a secret, I assume from a whole side of the family.
Yeah.
Since she didn't know.
Yeah.
What kind of secret page? Like, is it a different name? Like, why are you setting up more than one Facebook page?
Oh, man.
Like, oh, I'd like 2 passes to hell, please. Like, sign me up. What?
Oh, my God.
Okay, the next story we have comes from someone named Josh, and it is about his mom.
So when I was a kid, my dad was pretty straight-laced and definitely not okay with drugs whatsoever. Like, didn't really drink much, but definitely like, weed will kill you, all that sort of stuff.
Can we pause already?
Yes,
I need to pause.
Yes.
What I really like about this intro is the clarification of when I was a kid, my dad was pretty straight-laced. Like, I'm like, what happened?
I know.
What happened to your dad? What's he up to?
My mom didn't really seem to care as much. But regardless, one thing I remember as a child is that my parents' bathroom would occasionally smell kind of like a skunk or something. Like a weird smell, but you don't know what that might indicate when you're a child. And so I lived with my mom and my brother and my dad. So like all boys except for my mom. And it was this weird kind of skunky smell that only came from my parents' bathroom. So the conclusion I reached as a child was that just must be what like periods smell like, or like vaginas or something feminine had that unique odor that I would smell when I like changed the trash or something in my mom's bedroom.
This is
Josh!
Oh my God. I love it so much. This is like,
Just walking.
oh, Mom must be on her period again. It's the 8th time this month.
You're a 6th grader walking through the like gym locker room. Like, wow, so weird that so many people have their periods recently. So stinky.
Oh my God. Bless his heart.
And I kind of kept that conclusion until late in high school when finally, I had some friends who were smoking weed and I was like, hey, that smells like my mom's bathroom. Wait a minute. So yeah, I've never really said anything about this to my parents, but my assumption is my mom must have had some sort of secret stash around somewhere.
Justin, please, what do you need to say? Justin is here.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for interjecting, but we actually need to go back because he says when he changes the trash or something in his mom's bedroom. So is he saying that as a child he's doing he's doing chores, but he's doing this forensic detective work?
It is pretty funny to think about. I think it's a pretty common chore, right? To be like, my child will get all the trash from all the small trash cans and put them in the big trash can. And it's very funny to be think about a little kid lifting that small trash can and being like, oh, it smells like periods in there.
One time I was babysitting a very small child. It was a boy, small child boy. And he came up to me with a handful of tampons and he said, here. And I said, you. Oh, thank you. And he said, these are my mom's sticks for her butt when she bleeds. And he knows more, I think, it's about close. Menstruation than many boys learn. Yeah. I wouldn't know. I'm not a boy, but,
Justin, yes.
Okay.
Weigh in.
As a boy who was raised by...
As the
representative from Boys Town, who was raised by a single mom, I'm just going to say right now, Josh is doing way more forensic work while being kind and maybe some sort of proto-baby feminist, but there's so many layers of jumping to here that I don't think I ever really got to. And I'm just saying, before I took health class in high school, I would have not been like, oh, you know what? This was probably because my mom is menstruating and it is her cycle. And I need to respect that. Anyways.
This is incredible because also the fact that he's my dad was really straight-laced. I have several questions about that, right? So is this a front that your parents were putting on in order to discourage you from using drugs as a child? Seems like yes. But the other option, which is funnier, is to consider that his dad also just assumed that was what women smell like.
And the mom is just so much smarter than everybody in the house.
She's like, my lady smells. Mommy's special smell.
It's my time of the month again.
I've had a hard day. Time to retreat to my period chamber.
It's just roaming through the kitchen, pawing at snacks, and it's
my period cravings are really
Mom must
bad.
be having a real bad period, fellas. I'll take you to McDonald's tonight. We should get out of the house.
Mom's special smells are here, and she's eaten 4 bags of Cheetos.
Oh my god!
I'm crying.
Jesus.
Okay. Thank you, Josh. Right. What a blessing this story is.
We got tears.
I love it. Something I've realized is that people don't always think about physical symptoms like headaches, teeth grinding, even digestive issues as indicators of stress. If you're not sleeping enough or you're sleeping too little or you're never eating or you're eating too much, that can all be stress. I noticed a lot of these symptoms myself when we were producing the first season of Normal Gossip. I was just stressed all the time, trying to balance my entire life and this show and try to make something that we were really proud of and that you would love. And that's part of why we took this long break, is to give ourselves time to reset. And one of the ways that you can take care of yourself and help yourself manage your stress without taking a break off of work is by trying some therapy. A good way to try therapy is through BetterHelp. BetterHelp is customized online therapy that offers video, phone, and even live chat sessions with your therapist, so you don't have to see anyone on camera if you don't want to. It's much, much more affordable than in-person therapy. Give it a try and see if online therapy could maybe help you lower your stress levels or even help you with other mental health issues. Normal Gossip listeners will get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/normalgossip. That's BETTERHELP.com/normalgossip.
Okay, our next story comes from a friend named Rosie, and it's a doozy.
So this is the shortened version. Essentially, my mom, I know I said cult in the email title, and I think it is, but you might disagree. My mum is an ex-Mormon. I was raised Mormon as well.
Safe to call that a cult.
You know, they marry very young in the LDS faith. And so my mum got married when she was 19. She had a horrible relationship with my father. They divorced many years later. Just around the time that I came out, actually. I came out as a lesbian.
Extremely rude to overshadow your like big moment by being like, I'm coming out.
Divorce.
We're getting a divorce. Whose life event is bigger? Continue.
But then like a few months later, my mum also came out, and I was like, okay, dramatic.
Oh, I'm so happy for the mom. This is great.
I'm happy for your mom. Agree. Okay, continue.
Let me live. But she came out, and then fairly soon after, she started dating this other woman who was also an ex-Mormon, and, you know, going through a divorce with her husband at the time. Sorry, the fan heater's just turned on. And so they both sort of moved in together and then started dating, because I guess lesbians are like that. Anyway, you know, years go by, we move house, they break up. That's not the main tea right now. So my mum is a teacher, and just as we sort of move to this new place, she gets a new job at a new school, and at this new school she befriends the PE teacher.
Uh-oh. I'm imagining, well, I hope it's a woman, and I hope there's love, but also I imagine this isn't going to go well.
PE teachers have like two forms, right? It's like either you're just like love sports, or you're like and used to play sports and were really good at them, or you're just like extremely hot. And it's unclear to me like which group this person is going to be in. Do you know what I'm talking about? Neither of you know what I'm talking about.
I was imagining Miss Trunchbull from Matilda.
Oh, yeah, that makes more sense. What I'm imagining is like every PE coach I ever had was like used to be a college softball player and was just like excellent and was a great coach. And then we also had great coaches, but they were like much younger.
Yeah,
why are you shaking your head? No,
not my dynamic at all. I mostly had like creepy dads.
Ooh,
creepy dads. Those were my PE teachers.
I don't think I had any dude PE coaches.
Wow, lucky.
You know, they start chatting and just hanging out after school. You know, going to the pub for drinks or whatever, hanging out for games nights in a group. Wholesome, friendly fun. Excuse me while I relight my cigarette.
Oh my god,
Icon. Rosie.
So they're having, you know, cute, wholesome fun. And at these gatherings, the PE teacher brings her longtime girlfriend.
Okay.
And my mum really hits it off with the PE teacher's girlfriend. Really hits it off. But the PE teacher and this woman have been together for like 7 years. They live together. They have an apartment together. Like, they have cats. It's a whole thing. No. But my mum and this woman are really starting to hit it off. And like I said, this is the shortened version. But at the minute, my mother is embroiled in a lesbian love triangle drama. Like, this PE teacher, like, it goes so deep. She found out that something was going on, and this woman just won't break up with her girlfriend for some reason. Anyway, like, I'm on my mum's side because she's my mum, but also I'm
as
like,
you should be.
I
I do think it's like kind of rude that she's like, oh, I came out as lesbian. And then my mom also came out as a lesbian, which is very dramatic.
Mm-hmm.
And now she's embroiled in a lesbian love triangle. Like, it's kind of rude that your mom just like usurped any amount of romantic drama you could have within like 2 years.
Well, something I'm wondering is that it sounds as if they are both adventuring into their sexuality at the same time. They're kind of coming of age at the same time. I wonder if they are trading notes, if they are sharing anything. like is Rosie like her mom's lesbian coach? Are they doing it totally separately? Like, you know, is Rosie sharing TikToks with her mom that are like, you know, here are the things about
we have a lot of questions
the culture
about
that you need
one.
to know. Yeah.
Incredible.
Oh man, yeah, I have so many questions.
Alex, I know that I like have had a lot of weird acne at times in my life. Have you ever had like a terrible acne breakout at the worst time?
When I was in middle school, I went to jazz band camp and I had a huge cystic pimple on my cheek that like...
Oh, that's the worst place to have a pimple.
Only got worse, only got bigger. And for weeks, my family called me Blueberry because this pimple was so inflamed. And I still have a scar on my cheek from it. And like, I never hear the word blueberry the same way again.
That's so sad, Alex. I'm so sorry that happened to you. I haven't had like nearly as traumatic of an experience, but I feel like there were like years of my life where I always had a pimple just directly in the middle of my forehead for every wedding. And I was like, sick. This is great. And that is why like we at Normal Gossip are excited to partner with Apostrophe, the sponsor for this episode. Apostrophe is a prescription skincare company that offers science-backed oral and topical medications that are clinically proven to help clear acne. They like connect you with a board-certified dermatologist who like messages with you and helps create you like a treatment plan that is tailored just for you. It's pretty easy. You just log on and you fill out a little quiz and it asks you what your skin goals are. My goal was to have absolutely perfect skin that everyone was jealous of, so I recommend that as a goal. And then you snap a few selfies and they like look at your pictures and they're like, oh, you do not have absolutely perfect skin that everyone is jealous of. So here is something that you could use to help you have that. Apostrophe treats like all kinds of acne, from hormonal acne and like facial acne to even chest knee, back knee, butt knee, all the knees. They treat breakouts from head to toe.
Including your knees.
Including your knees. What I liked about Apostrophe was that like it was really easy and it had none of the like stress of trying to go to an actual dermatologist. It was really quick, and then they sent me this product that I love that is making my face look very clean, and my pores are evaporating into the sky, which I love. We have a special deal for our audience. You can save $15 off your first visit with an Apostrophe provider at apostrophe.com/gossip when you use our code GOSSIP. This code is only available to our listeners. To get started, just go to apostrophe.com/gossip and click begin visit, then use our code GOSSIP at sign up and you'll get your first visit for only $5. That's apostrophe.com/gossip and use that code GOSSIP to get your dermatologist crafted treatment plan for $5. And we thank Apostrophe for sponsoring the podcast.
So the story is from Victoria and it is about her sister.
My sister was about 21, I believe, and she was dating her high school boyfriend of about 4 or 5 years. They broke up once, but very shortly after got back together, and she was living at home and just kind of wanted to change the scenery. So she decided she wanted to go nanny abroad and be an au pair for a few months.
I feel like I have heard dozens of people talk about doing this and no one ever actually do it.
I've never met anybody who has done this. It seems a little like a fake job, like the kind of job like architect where you like don't know anybody who does it.
Like architect.
I mean, like the job of an architect is something that is overrepresented in pop culture. And like, do I know
like
any
magazine
architects?
editor? Like
Well, I know a lot more magazine editors than architects.
that's because
That's
you're in
my
the same
fault.
industry as them. Whatever.
That's my
You're
fault.
right though. The au pair is like a classic rom-com trope of like, oh no, I'm nannying.
And possibly go to this floristry school while she was there.
Oh, floristry.
So she gets stopped off at the
Cool.
airport, and we actually go to the airport on the same day because I was traveling abroad with my high school at the time. So we go to the airport together. Really lucky timing worked out for that. And I go to
Special.
Paris, or forget exactly my first stop, but I'm going to Paris. And I get a call a day later from my mom saying that my sister got deported.
Whoa.
A day later? So she must have just gotten like turned away at customs,
Surely,
right?
yeah.
Like, what the heck? She's been working on this for months. Why the hell would she be deported? So she goes back home, is really sad about it. Turns out her paperwork just wasn't aligning right. Like, it looked like she was going to be staying there for a long time without enough money in her account. And she was interrogated for literally like 10 hours in the airport, like very traumatized. They were just really going in on her.
I mean, this sounds like classic, like I'm 21 years old and I try to do a big thing and I'm in way over my head.
Yes. You show up at airport customs and you're like, hello, I'm here to live in France. And they're like, no,
Yeah.
that's not.
Very American 21-year-old thing to do.
But also sucks. Like, customs people are terrifying.
Yeah. I've never had a good experience going through customs.
And at the time, we thought it was just so strange. Like, why were they so pressed about this girl going to, like, London for a few months when she didn't need that much money? Like, she was going to be an au pair there. So we all just thought it was really weird, and I didn't get much details out of her because I was gone at the time, and then I was in college, or I don't know. It just didn't find out a lot of information about it.
Okay.
So it turns out a year later, she's like, all right, I'm going to try to give it another go. Like, I really want to go there. And she'd gotten past all the trauma it caused her from being interrogated for that long. And we're all really proud of her for sticking to it after going through that experience. And so she buys another plane ticket and it's like, I'm going to go for 6 weeks. She's packing so much. And we're like, you don't need to bring everything you fucking own with you, girl. Like, you're going to be back in, 4 or 6 weeks, whatever it was. And she's like, I don't know. Like, she had never gone on a European trip before. So she's like, I just want to bring everything I own.
4 to 6 weeks is like that's visitor's visa, right? Like, that's why it would be easier to go for that.
I'm sure. How long was she planning to go before? Was it like 2 months?
She didn't say, I don't think. Which might have been the problem. I don't know. Okay, continue.
And she goes there, ends up loving it so much, no problems that time.
Great.
She has all her paperwork in order. I think her visa at that time was then good for up to 6 months. And while she was there, she literally just like fell in love with the city. And she would be sending us pictures of the kids she was nannying and just, pictures of the city saying how much she loved it. We're like, oh, that's so awesome. And she's like, I just want to stay here longer. So she was like, I'm going to start applying to actual floristry schools and making it work.
Justin, what are you trying to say? Justin.
I'm sorry, but there is so many layers of nonsense and bullshit here. First off, she's sending pictures of kids. First off, how did she get a job? How did she just knock on every single like beautiful, well put together door, along the streets and say, hello, are you wealthy? Do you have someone to look after your children? I can sing scales to them. I know how to like what the fuck did she do? Secondly, the scam is afoot. Her I'm gonna stay longer is I want to study flowers.
I do think my understanding of like the au pair market is that there is a high demand for au pairs if you are willing to be paid less than people who like live in the country and would require a higher wage.
Yikes.
That is my understanding. So if you are willing to work for less than the going rate in London for nannies, it probably would be pretty simple to get an au pair job, would be my guess. In fact, if you have any au pair gossip, we will take that. The hotline is 2679 gossip. Call it in. We'd love to hear about your au pair drama. But I mean, floristry school sounds sick. I would love to learn how to put flowers in a vase. Seems fun.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, continue.
So she could stay there for up to a year. And she luckily, got in touch with a friend who worked for the
Where was this friend the first
local
time?
government there and got to extend her visa. And just things that worked out timing wise. And at this point, my mom was starting to get suspicious, thinking, this is really weird. This isn't like her. Some of her storylines weren't adding up. We would ask her address to mail her things, and she would provide us with the address of the kids she nannied. And my mom started to catch on to things, and I thought my mom was just being really critical or, I don't know, paying it too much attention, because my mom is like that. She's always been like that, all up in our business, getting spies literally at school, like aides to spy on us to make sure we're not doing anything wrong. She's always just been overly attentive and whatever you want to call that.
Okay, this is providing a lot of interesting context for the daughter wanting to, yeet to a different country.
Yes. It also is okay, so I have a sister, and we fought a lot as children, but as we got older, it became very much whatever you say I need to tell mom, I will tell her, right? There's a kind of it's us versus them mentality that I do understand here, where she's I'm the younger sister. I don't ask questions, mom. Leave her alone and let her have her fun time. But you can say that and then still go to your sister and ask those questions for your own information.
Yeah, I am riveted.
And so I was just like, no, mom, you're not doing her enough credit. And so I was defending my sister this whole time, not thinking anything of it, just thinking she's having a great time. And then time goes on. Probably it was coming close to a year now of her being there, and I'm a year into college at this point. And my brother was starting to do some, dating online too, because he thought it was strange. He thought that she was lying about random unnecessary things. And so he finds a picture on Facebook of her getting married, full on, by a gown,
If you are going to get secret married and not tell your family, you cannot post photos on Facebook.
Yes. Again, with the
basic cover your tracks shit.
Yes. Do you really want to be on Facebook that badly?
Also, pictures of her getting married, I have so many questions about this. My first question is but if you just elope at random, usually you don't have great pictures of you getting married, right? Unless you've arranged that ahead of time. So for there to exist photos of her getting married, that means it at least had to have some forethought into this decision.
A plan of some sort. Although it could be tagged photos of her, maybe
untag yourself.
Yes.
This is not a difficult, or delete your Facebook.
Clearly we would be better scammers than any of these people.
That's so true, but we don't. So we're also failing. Okay, I'm ready. Keep going. She's secret married.
Okay. If we were secret married, nobody would know.
Nobody would know.
Wedding dress, with this older man. And we're oh, maybe this is just a photo shoot or something. This is so weird.
Shoot?
Mind you, this whole time she's abroad, she's still with her boyfriend back at home. I didn't mention this at all.
There's the boyfriend. He's back.
And they're communicating.
Wait, so she has been gone for a year, and the boyfriend's just
he hasn't gone to see her?
Yeah, he's just I'm here, baby.
What kind of high school boyfriend is this?
A high
Get
school
on a
boyfriend,
plane, bud. Buck up.
Oh my god. Wow, okay.
She went on vacation in Greece, which she said she was there with the family she was babysitting, helping out while they were on vacation. Turns out that was not true. She was on her honeymoon in Greece, and she's texting her boyfriend at home saying, oh my God, I can't wait to marry or go on our honeymoon here one day. It's so beautiful.
What?
She's living just full on a double life. She's on her honeymoon talking to her boyfriend at home, and her husband didn't know she was still in a relationship with her boyfriend back home either. Apparently things had been rocky with them, not the husband, her boyfriend, so they weren't communicating as much anyway, and there's a time difference. And
Pause. What?
Oh, wow. So she's doing 2 secrets.
Does this person think that just like when you're on the other side of the Atlantic, it's just like there's like when in Rome rules where you can just like get married and go on a honeymoon and then like that doesn't exist?
Wow. Okay. Wow. I just what is she saying to her boyfriend? Like who does her husband think she's talking to on the phone?
What is she just right? So this is the thing that's weird to me, right? You've been in a relationship for 4 years. You're in England. Theoretically, you should be video chatting. Like this is not 2002. Yes. It's 15? She's 2014, 2015. Something so like Skype exists. Yes. You can like video chat your boyfriend back from back home. So like does your now new husband who you went on a honeymoon to Greece with think that you just like have a close friend? That like what?
Like
who didn't come to your wedding?
Yeah. And like he hasn't met any of her family. Is he not like, that's odd. That's odd.
Yeah. Did she like tell him she was an orphan?
My extremely young American wife have never met any of her family members.
So normal, not at all shady to simply marry a 22-year-old American au pair.
He just thought that she was, exploring this new city and trying to figure herself out, but didn't know that she was living a double life, obviously. He was the one that dropped her to the airport, being like, oh my God, have so much fun there. Can't wait to see you. Crazy shit, though. So my sister, her whole world came crashing down after
shit.
Online. He sent it to my family. My mom called me just saying, your sister fucking got married and didn't tell anybody. And I called her nonstop. Like, we were all calling her nonstop. And she first called me back out of everybody and broke down. I mean, obviously her web of lies was found out.
Web of lies?
Pause.
Web of lies. Like, this sister clearly, like, loves her sister still and is also, like, she can handle dialectical thinking where she's like, yes, 2 things are true. Web of lies. And like, I still have
my
compassion.
Perfect sister who I love.
Yeah.
Justin.
I feel like that was a perfect Kelsey interjects question moment with the brother. If you're the brother, do you choose the nuclear option here to reveal all this to the family?
Right. So what's interesting to me here about the brother's decision is like, that your mom is like hovery, to put it nicely.
Yes.
So like the decision to tell her is the nuclear option, right? The brother could have just told this sister who called us and been like, hey, we've got a situation. The situation is wedding photos of our sibling in
literal
England.
International incident is what this family has.
Yes.
Yeah, we have a transatlantic problem, and what we need to do is call our sister. Like, nothing is going to clue your sister into the fact that you have told your mother, like, every member of your family calling her phone.
And the fact that her mom more than likely called the fucking State Department immediately.
Oh, yeah. Like, my daughter has been trafficked. Help, my sweet, precious, angelic child has been taken.
The thing is, sometimes your siblings make decisions that are not good. Sometimes they get secret married. The answer here is to not involve your mother immediately. Yes. Like, if this was my sister, I'm going to get on a fucking plane and I'm going to show up in London and I'm going to be like, what the fuck are you doing? Yeah. So that then I don't have to sit here and call her on my phone. Like, you need to pin this person down.
Yeah. I think the knowledge that the mom is extremely intense and controlling is like very important context here that clearly is shaping many of the decisions being made.
So from there, everything started coming out slowly but surely. We had like not an intervention, but like a sit down meeting with our whole family and her husband, and he's a saint. Like, he forgave her for all of it.
And great.
Wait, okay, we're missing some real key details
Where's the
here.
boyfriend?
Where's the boyfriend?
Was he part of
Where's
the intervention?
the meeting?
Does the boyfriend think he's a saint also?
Are they rolling in like 6 members of this family deep to London, like to do this intervention? Like, what happened?
Oh my god. And also, who are these children?
Whose children?
Do you think she's actually an au pair, or are these her children?
At this point, I don't know. Play more.
Okay.
I know my sister has her reasons for why she didn't want to tell my family. I mean, for one, the guy is 12 or 14 years older. So she's, at this point, almost 30, and he's about 45. So yeah, about 15 age difference. And she was really nervous of how my mom would judge her, because my mom has always been hypercritical of her in particular, and my sister would kind of give in to her judgments and let it dictate her life, and it would give her a lot of anxiety. But no one ever thought that she should get married without telling us, so it caused a lot of pain in my family.
Makes sense.
Okay, pause. Okay, one, your mother is allowed to be hypercritical of you for this, not because you are dating someone who's 12 years older than you, but because you got secret married in a 6-month time period.
Yes.
Like, that is a choice. Like, your mother is allowed to be critical of that decision. Like, I know she's annoying you, but also you're acting ridiculously.
To be honest, it kind of still hurts to think about that she would manipulate us like that, and particularly when she knew I was defending her. I kept defending her to my whole family, and I was always really close with her. So it hurt more so. It caused her to have falling outs with a few of my siblings and my parents for a little while. No one trusted her for a long time, and we're still, I don't know what we're fully regaining that trust. We just know what she's capable of now. We talk all the time now, me and her. Not all the time, every few weeks. I don't know. But I love her. I'll always trust her. But it's a web of lies. It was every part of her life she was lying about. The kids she was nannying weren't really kids she was nannying. They were her nieces and nephews. She did occasionally watch them, but she didn't have a job at first. So that's why when she first went there, she got deported, because she was planning on going there for a long time. I will also add that her and her husband met in the United States. I'm from they met in she was there for a weekend with her friends, and he was here for like a bachelorette party. So they met there while she supposedly was on a break with her boyfriend. And they continued talking online. There's just so much. I have a lot of details, but yikes. Hope you enjoyed.
Wow.
Did we ever enjoy? Thank you. Okay, so now a lot more is making sense to me, which is like when you go through British customs, they are like, when's your plane ticket home? What are you doing here? Where's some fucking proof for why you're here? And when, please leave. So it makes perfect sense to me that this girl who is love struck by this man she met at a bachelor party in question mark is showing up to customs, and they're like, what are you here for? And she's like, love. And they're like, no, that's not, this Love Island is a show. That's not the UK. Like, you have to get out.
Oh no. So she got back together with her boyfriend. She made this whole plan to move to England. She was doing this simultaneously.
Yes.
This woman is a logistical goddess.
Okay. This is yet again my number one problem with people who are like having ongoing long relationships with two people who don't know that they're having relationships with those two people is, how are you awake? Like, isn't it emotionally exhausting to maintain two complete relationships and also maintain the lie that they don't know about each other?
Mm-hmm. It must
aren't
be.
You tired?
Especially at this level that involves international travel, immigration, visas, floristry school. There's so many details to keep track of.
Right. Also, like, I just cannot get over the brother finding this on Facebook. Like, that's the thing that would have, like, broken me. You're misbehaving, fine. You're misbehaving and I don't know about it and have to find out from Facebook, not fine.
So, okay, here's our last story about a grandmother who has a great time.
What?
No, a story about a grandmother.
No, you're not
with
cutting
a
that.
A grandmother with
A grandma
secret.
who has a great time.
This is why I'm not
Rock
on
and
mic.
roll granny.
Okay.
Okay, so I am 25 and I'm just finding this out recently because I was talking to my aunt. And this is all on my mom's side. So, my mom's dad passed away, like, before she even met my dad. So, way before I was born. And so, when my mom was getting married, my grandma was, like, dating someone else who everyone fucking hated. His name was Norman. He fucking sucked.
Fucking Norman.
Hell yeah.
We hate Norman.
We hate you,
She
Norman.
was like, well, our grandchild can't not have a maternal grandfather. That just won't do.
Just
What?
won't do.
Why?
People, traditional values, whatever. So they actually, like, didn't get married. I literally did not know that they were not married. They just, like, had a domestic partnership or whatever. Which, like, I didn't even know straight people did that. But
But, like, Grandma and Norman did. I love
Grandma
that.
Norman did.
He's my partner.
And everyone's like, fuck you, Norman.
I love that.
Okay.
like, she didn't want to marry him because he sucked. She just wanted me to have a grandfather. So then my whole family moves to Florida for some reason. And then she decides she is going to fuck up her life.
Hell yeah.
She
Chaos
is, like,
Grandma.
she used to be, like, the most social, like, senior citizen in the world. Like, she's part of, like, every thing. And she had, like, a really tight-knit group of friends that was, like, very big. And there was this couple, Freddie and Natalie.
Great names.
And Freddie is, like, her bestie.
Aww.
Like, I have known him since I was 4.
Freddie.
That's
He,
really cute.
like, just was always there. When I was in high school, my mom was like, how would you feel if Graham dated Freddie?
What? Pause.
What about Natalie?
Okay, all right. Okay. I do like that your grandma had friends. That's really nice.
That's
I like
great.
that she was super social and that she had these like longtime friends. That's very cute. My grandparents have some longtime friends and I'm obsessed with them. I love the idea of you being a high schooler, which is like fully old enough to know that like grandma is like doing some shit and your mom coming to you and being like, what would you think if just your grandma dated this guy that you've known your whole life? What would you think about that? What? You would immediately be like, oh, cool. So grandma is fucking Freddie, right? Because you're 17. You would be like, why would you phrase this way?
Oh, so what's going on with Norman? Okay.
Where's Norman?
Where's Norman?
Also, why did this whole family move to Florida?
The entire family, 3 generations, up and moved to
What
Florida.
are you guys doing?
Yeah.
I was like, I guess I saw it coming. Because Natalie had died, like a couple years before. And I was just like, I don't know, haven't we always joked about Graham dating Freddie, whatever? But recently I found out that she was sleeping with Freddie the whole time. Just since I was baby. And I always knew that, like, Norman sucked, and then when he died, she got $0.
Oh, Norman was dead, and he left her nothing.
Okay, so this is much less ominous because Graham and Freddie, it seems like we're both widowed by this point in time when mom comes and is like, what if grandma dated Freddie?
Yes. But what we now know is that they were both having affairs.
The whole time.
Before they were widows.
Was like forcibly ousted from her home by his kids because they hated her. For what I thought was no reason. However, he knew she was cheating on him the whole time and never said anything about it. However, he told his kids about it. So they hated her, and that's why she lost everything.
Oh my god. That is petty. That is Alex level petty of like, I know that you are wronging me, and rather than confront you, I will store it away until I die. And then you get screwed.
Alex.
Yes.
Terrifying. But also,
I'm sorry.
It's extremely, this like kind of parental relationship is extremely confusing to me, where you're like, oh, I know that my wife is cheating on me, so I'm going to tell my children?
Yeah. It's weird.
Although I guess it is kind of fair to hate her if she was sleeping around on your dad for their entire relationship with her cool friend Freddie, who no one hates.
Everyone likes Freddie. Freddie's the golden boy. He looks like he's 60.
He's so young.
He can still drive.
Walks on the beach every day.
So a few years ago, she's like, I'm going to move in with Freddie.
Aww.
Also, my mom doesn't know that she was cheating on Norman. Only my aunt knows this. And she's moving in with Freddie, and we're like, you can't, like, do this again. Like, please don't. Like, put yourself in a position where you could lose everything. Like, they didn't want to get married, but they were living together, and it was just like, if this ends badly, I don't want you to lose everything again.
You know how, like, everyone's always talking about how it's bad if you have to manage up, right? Like, oh, you have to manage your boss. That's bad. This is like parenting your grandma is what we're talking about, where you're like, grandma, I know that you like to like fuck around a little bit. And in the past, that has gotten you into trouble and left you with no house or money. So maybe we could consider not doing that in the future.
Don't
like
ruin your life.
What kind of power dynamics are these?
Yeah, it's really intense.
And she's like, yeah. So now...
Yeah, sure.
like the end of last year, Freddie like fell
No
and
more
like
walks
something
on
happened
the
with his
beach.
hip and he was in the hospital and his family came down. He's fine.
Thank you. Good clarification.
And my mom and my aunt are like having dinner at their house the day that he's coming home. Like, just supposed to be like, yeah, you're doing great. Normal. So my mom, my aunt, and my grandma are, like, sitting at the table waiting with Freddie. And his daughter, one of his daughters is supposed to be there.
Okay.
And she's running, like, I think, like, an hour late or some shit. And so they're like, okay, I guess we're going to start eating. She shows up with a whole food salad, sits down at the table. Freddie goes to the bathroom, and she drops the bomb. She's like, oh, by the way, Barbara, we're fucking kicking you out.
I love it. Like, the whole food salad is, like, punctuating this very dramatic mic drop.
I just like that, like, the level of drama that's happening in this, like, retirement community that is then being, like, the actual drama is having to come from the generation beneath it.
Me thinks, and also my aunt thinks, that the same thing is happening where, like, his kids assume, or maybe they even know, that, like, he was cheating on their mom with my grandma, even when she was, like, dying.
Yeah.
So they hate her. They took everything.
No.
Once again. So Everything is going to be fine. By the way,
I love this
is like
storytelling. Thank you.
just funny.
This is just funny. Okay, great.
So the funniest part to me is I said I've known him since I was like a toddler, right? Also, my family's Jewish, so is Freddie. Freddie came to my bat mitzvah.
Okay.
And came with Natalie, because this is before she died. And he was, like, honored. Like, he had an aliyah on the bima, which means, like, I call him up. He says a prayer
really
or a blessing, before I read the Torah. You only give it to 3 people. So he was, like, very special.
Oh, my God.
And he also gave me my talit, which is, like, the prayer shawl, which is, like, it was his talit from when he had a bar mitzvah.
Oh, that's really
he's
nice.
Like 90. Now he's like 90. So he was like pushing 80 at that time. So he is having this special honor, and his wife is sitting there watching him be like blessed before God by the daughter of his mistress. And I just think that that's a really fun, spicy detail. Okay, bye.
Wow, that was a really fun, spicy detail.
It must be so jarring to like look back at a central moment in your coming of age and realize that like the dynamics that you thought were happening around you
Completely wrong.
They were not. You thought it was your fun family friend, Freddie. And he was, I guess, but also Grandma's fuck buddy, Freddie.
It's also really funny to think about, like, I don't know if this is true, so please call in if it's not. But I assume if it's your bat mitzvah, you get some say over, like, who reads these things. No?
I don't know.
Justin's, I don't know. It's funnier to me to think about her choosing Freddie and just creating some kind of drama where the moms
Over
are like,
Norman.
oh, no.
Like, we hate Norman. We don't want Norman. We want Freddie.
Freddie.
The one last thing, I think the funniest point to me that made me want to die and gag on that is that I'm just imagining there's like some shitty bat mitzvah DJ playing like 90s hits like Spice Girls and shit as the family is like simmering in the background. And our caller is just like living it up, having the day of
She's
her life.
so happy.
So fucking happy and just like like pointing out everybody and enjoying like the like special fountain drinks that are there for all the kids and everything, and the family is like knives out.
This is incredible. Wow. Thank you so much for these stories. What a treat.
Blessing. A true blessing, that one.
Thank you so much for listening to this bonus episode. We will be back in 2 short weeks with another bonus episode where Alex and I will answer some of your hot, burning questions. If you have a gossip story to share with us in the meantime, email us at normalgossip@defector.com, or you can leave us a voicemail at 2679-GOSSIP, but please be aware that the voicemail box will cut you off after 3 minutes. You can follow me on all social medias at @McKinneyKelsey. This podcast was produced by Alex Sujan Laughlin. Defectors Project's editor is Justin Ellis. Our editor-in-chief is Tom Lay. Thank you to the rest of the Defector Media staff. Defector Media is a collectively owned, subscriber-based media company. If you love this podcast and want to support us, subscribe to Defector at defector.com. I'm Kelsey McKinney, and remember, you did not hear this from me.
I call myself low energy Jeb when I'm in a recording situation.
This is the second crazy thing that I've learned about you today. The first being that you listen to girl boss videos in the morning.
I'm sorry, Alex, what?